Wagwan, mi familias, what's going on with y'all? Hope you're all doing well today. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a social production. That's right. We're doing it on February the 6th, 2026. What up to all my niggas? What up to all my faggots? What up to all my straight heterosexuals? The whites, the browns, the reds, the yellows, the purples, the pistachio colored people, whoever you are. Even if you're, borderline, if you're a cyborg, shout out to you. If you know what I'm talking about. If you're like missing a testicle and you got it's a beautiful bionic testicle. That's right. And maybe you're missing one eye, and sometimes you can suck that testicle through your urethra, up your intestines, and into your eye socket, and then get a little Sharpie, and then draw a little black dot in the middle, and have it look like your eye, but it's actually your testicle. It doesn't even matter. Hope your testicles are empty. I hope you got rid of your jizz right now, because we're about to fill it back up. And ladies, I hope you just get a mop, sweep it up after you finish squirting. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. This is, of course, one of the most testosterone-filled podcast shows, documentaries, TV shows, series, movies, one of the longest movies ever, but also one of the most testosterone-filled pieces of things that exists out there in the ether. Thank you for joining me wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, down south in the United States, further down south, Mexico, South America, over there, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, Finland, the Finnish people, Sweden, over there in Portugal, over there in Azerbaijan, over there in Kazakhstan, Zimbabwe. All around the place today. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, cause the players and the pimps have come out to play once again. We are here and we're doing it. It is Friday. Let's get a sip of this bad boy. Lots of fun to be had. Lots of places to be tickled. Lots of erections to be had. Lots of edging to be done. Lots of Kegel exercises. Do your Kegels right now, as it will actually increase your podcast viewership experience. So please do your Kegel exercises. For the love of God, squeeze and hold it. I don't even know what that means, because I don't have that, I don't have that fallopian tube, but squeeze it, ladies, it helps. Man, if I had fallopian tubes, I would whip them out. I'd blow air inside them, like, I make balloon animals out of my fallopian tubes. Oh, check this out. Freak out all the children. Why don't women use more of their fallopian tubes, Use it as a straw. I'd never buy another straw if I were a woman. I'd reach in there, I'd grab my fallopian tube, I'd just put in the Slurpee and just right there through the fallopian tube. Attach both of them. Now you got a longer fallopian tube. Oh, if I were only so lucky, but not in this lifetime. Next lifetime, double the fallopian tubes. Neither here or there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get right into it. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get down to the business of the entertainment that we're in. Knee deep in entertainment, cause it's Friday. All right. Grammys. It was beautiful. Didn't watch the full thing. I'm a fan of music, so I do enjoy musicians. I love singers, songwriters, dancers, entertainers. That aspect, there's a lot to be. Music, one of the greatest things out there. So the people that create it got a lot of love for you. So keep that in mind before we go further knee deep inside this song, bitch. Bad Bunny is, I believe he won, I think, best album of the year.
I like to first and foremost say, "Ay papi, thank you, Lord." I like to say we are not cabbage. We are like, I don't want there to be any confusion. How you say confusion? And we are not cabbage. We are not vegetable. We are not you don't grab knife and slice and dice and put us in a salad. We are not cabbage. How you say we are not aliens? I like to, just if there any confusion. How you say we are all from here? How you say is one board, one giant board, one, we're all from it. no one here is alien. How you say? I'd like to thank Lord.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. Oh, it's beautiful to see different people win. It's beautiful to see different people. Bad Bunny. I'm just curious about a bunch of things. Real shoulders, or like, you know, is it Hollywood shoulders? Because he's got shoulders for days. So I'll give him that. Beautiful songs, large, long, wide shoulders. Wide shoulders. I believe he's performing this week because of the Super Bowl. And I don't care what people say. I don't care what people say. Some people, you know, some people might say, oh, he's just a faggot. He wears a dress, you know, and some people might say that. I don't say that. I'm here for the music. I support it. I'm here for it. It's nice. Let's get some exposure. Let's expand football. This is what this weekend's supposed to be about, football. So him doing that performance is going to be great, whether he wears a dress or doesn't wear a dress, as long as I'm entertained. And by that, I mean if the hot chicks, if you're making a move, if you make them bounce up and down, wiggling and jiggling their tits and ass, then I will be on board. Until that moment stops, I'm ride or die. Okay, so I don't care what people say. Put on 2 dresses. All right, Bad Bunnies, don't listen to the naysay. Or you know what? Go reverse these. No dress at all. We don't even know his sexuality. It doesn't even matter at this point. Doesn't matter. All right. Put on 3 dresses. Sing the songs. Make the titties jiggle. Yeah. Put that Latin twist, that Latin twang on that shit right there. Make the titties jiggle, and we're all good. All right. Put 5 dresses on. No one cares. Or again, go with an extremely masculine look this time. Put on 25 pairs of jeans on top of one another to, you know, emphasize masculinity. And lock that shit down because it's football time. I'd like to thank the Lord. I'd like to say that we are all love. Before we get into it, I'd like to say, you know, hate is how you say hate get more powerful. We more hate. Love is the only hate who hate. Oh, wait, hold on. Hate strong. With more hate, you get a more strong hate. If we are gonna fight it, we are gonna fight it, we do it, we more low. Always remember how you say that. Who else? Memorable moments. Again, didn't have time to watch the entire thing. Billie Eilish, extremely talented musician. This bitch you know, you gotta look at a bitch and it's titties. If they're doing great work out there, if the titties are doing great work, you get carte blanche. That's, you know what I'm talking about. So I don't care what you all say. I don't care what anybody says. I will be, again, first of all, we're in it for the music, all right? Second of all, tits galore, all right? Talking milk bags, all right? Juggers, all right? Titties, all right? So she can say whatever she wants. She can say, what did she even say? Some people got a little bit upset. So who cares, all right? Who cares what Billie Eilish says? Who cares what Billie Eilish says? All right? Doesn't, as long as, again, songs make the other hot chicks wiggle and jiggle the tits. All right? Your boy's on board. And you yourself, as long as you are good looking and young, all right? Because it is a finite commodity, ladies and gentlemen. Do not put too much of this. I don't want this. Get rid of this perception that everybody has to be perfect in every aspect of their life, including their opinions on this, that, and that. She's providing electrical music that makes, once again, the titties and the jigglies down south wiggle, wiggle. All right? So until that is going on, we're not going to stop supporting music. All right? That's, what did she even say? What did she even say? That there's No one's illegal on stolen land. She says some shit like that. Who cares what she says? All right. What is she doing? Making great music. What's the aftermath of the great music? Wiggle jiggle, baby. All right. Wiggle jiggle. All the rest of it, no one cares about. All right. No one cares. She could come out tomorrow and say the world is flat. All right. Again, what does her music do? All right. Makes the titties wiggle and jiggle. And that's why we support it. And she herself has got wiggle jiggle titties, all right, for days, weeks, months. But once again, it is a finite commodity. One day, before you know it, she too will get old, and we're gonna have to come and search for a new one. Until then, enjoy these beautiful times. Give people their love, their flowers. Listen to them for what they're meant to do, and then everything else, ignore it. It's just fine. Everybody can just say it's fine. I supports all of it. All right? Because we're in a supportive mood today. It's the most beautiful thing. A hot chick who's dumb, that's the most beautiful thing. And she's talented. Imagine, and thank God for talent. If talent didn't seep through, she'd just be she'd be making some random guy extremely happy right now. Some random dude. But like to have a dumb, beautiful bitch, and she's talented. Come on. And again, I don't know don't follow too much of her life around. I don't know much about her. There's speculation. I don't know what's going on. There's a fella that she shows up with all the time. I've heard brother, but low-key, some people on the streets are saying it might be more than that. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. Incestual relationships, who knows? No one cares. You know why? Because she makes the music with the wiggly and the jiggly, all right? No one cares what she has to say about anything. Any of them. Any of these celebrities, as much as, I love them for what they do. If you're making great movies, love you for the great movies. If you're making the music, love you for the music. Everything else, it doesn't matter. Who else? I do want to, this is a first time we're going to be doing this. All right, so Jelly Roll inspired. First time, I've only tried this out in my head. I don't even know what it's gonna sound like, to be very honest with you. We're gonna try to do it, Jelly Roll. Again, all this comes from love. I don't know where this is gonna go, all right? Buckle down, buckle up. Let's get another sip of this shit before we get into this one. Gotta get the vocal chords. I've never tried to imitate his voice. His voice is singing voice, amazing. Songs, great. Talking as jelly. Embody the person, get into it. You're now Jelly Roll. We're not Jelly Roll. I like to thank the Lord for pulling me up. I was a bit criminal and I got slimmed down because of the love of Jesus. No, I don't have this. Hold on. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this, ladies and gentlemen. The voice, okay? Listen to him talk. I've tried him. Hold on. We're gonna get there. I was a bit criminal. No, god damn, I can't do his voice, son of a bitch. I can't do his voice. But that makes me want to do it even more. I want to thank the Lord because I was a big criminal, but now I slimmed down because I found Jesus in my heart. When I found Jesus in my heart, he was the size of this Bible. He whips out the tiniest Bible. Jesus was in my tiny Bible. I had this tiny Bible, and at the same time, I had this very tiny radio the size of this tiny Bible. And the Bible starts to speak. I was a big fat criminal of the Bible, but then I decided to get into the groove of things and slim down and lose a couple of pages for my health reasons. I had to thank the Lord, my wife, and my other fellow Bibles. Jesus is Jesus. You're all Jesus. Find Jesus in your heart, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. Again, that was the first time attempting Jelly Roll. We'll see how that one goes. Spot on, some say. what's going on in and around the world, ladies and gentlemen. That was again, all this comes from, gotta listen to his voice talking. He's got a unique voice. I love his voice. He's got a unique, especially when he talks. God, he would have, if music wasn't his thing, if music didn't work out, he would have been killing it at a mega church. You gotta get the Spirit of the Lord inside you. Flip the pages of the tiny Bibles, and if your Bible is tiny and you get tiny, and together you can be Slim Jims, baby. The Jesus Spirit is within you, God. Do that. What else is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining me. It is Friday. What's going on in Spain? Spain's caught your attention, it's caught my attention. 500,000 new illegals are becoming legal, apparently, at the same time. They're introducing an under 16 social media ban. I believe they're following suit like Australia, other places in the world are considering it, and my sus antennas are getting titillated. My sus antennas are actually my nips, all right? Behind my nips, I have installed sus antennas. Should my tits ever be perky, and they always are, you can tell that I'm feeling like something's about to go down. It's a little bit of sauce. Social media ban for under 16s. The claim is that they're doing it for safety purposes, for protecting the youth, for protecting children from online activities and whatnots. But I don't know how I feel about that, because I never have looked at a politician in anywhere in the world. I've never looked at a politician and said that, you know what, they're in it for the love of the game. They're in it to help people. These guys are the most selfless individuals out there. And they just want to put down the rules, laws, and regulations. Just help out people with more rules, laws, and regulation. Nothing about personal gain, nothing at all. No one goes into these games, all right, and comes out with less money. They all get in there and come out with more money. But I just want to remind you that they are doing it for the love of the game, and it's to protect and serve most of these individuals. 99.999% of them do it for the love of their fellow humans. So yeah, they're going to be identifying people via age verification. I guess this could just be that, yeah, we give them the benefit of the doubt. They want to protect the youth. All right, it's all to protect the youth. It's just for safety. It's to protect the children. Mind you, these people are the same people. These people will whore out their entire family if they need to. All right, but at the same rate, they're doing it for the love of the human experience and wanting to preserve youth and to create safety and boundaries. All right, and put up guardrails. All right, because they care about the children. That's what they do. All right. Or it could be low key. It could be the prelude, could be the preliminary steps. It's just unrolling around the world that we are going to be getting accustomed. If we don't fight it somehow, I don't know what we're going to fight it with. Somehow getting accustomed to the idea of identifying yourself when you're online, as in having to verify your ID. If you want to go online, you're gonna have to log in using some sort of ID. Get digital ID. I think it might be that. I think it might be the prelude. I think it might be the early stages. And I think they're gonna try to roll it, because this is, again, you do it with the younger generation, little by little. Then you do it from sprinkling in from different sides. One side says you gotta log into, if you are under 60, you gotta log in using an ID. Another angle they'll hit you with is like, if you want to watch porn, you gotta log in using your ID. And again, you say they want to do it for safety. I'm feeling a little bit, something's a little bit sus. Yeah, that's my gut feeling. I hope I'm wrong. I could be wrong. We're not in it to be like, oh, we're right about this or right about that, or we don't make mistakes, but I hope I'm wrong about this. But how do we fight it? I don't know. Have personal responsibility, take it. It should be left to the parents of each household. It should be left to the parents of how to learn how to use the devices and these gadgets, and teach your children individually. And everybody should, in my personal opinion, inspect it, but go at it by your own. Go at it with your own, intuition and accord. Do it the way you want to do it. That's the way, because Some places they want to do under 16, some places they want to do under 15. And again, I'm not too sure if the entire concern here is saving the youth. But who knows, ladies and gentlemen. I believe they just found a biolab in Las Vegas, which was curious to say the least. How did they find this biolab? They were creating, I guess, hazardous materials, over thousands of vials or bottles, or who knows? A little bit of baking soda, a little bit of lighter fluid, a little bit of bleach, a little bit of I think they were creating AIDS, if I'm not mistaken. They catch somebody. I think they caught someone. They caught one person, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they caught more people. And I'm not sure who was it? Was it an inside job? Was it somebody within our own? Was it domestic, or was it from a different country? Who creates a biolab in a residential home? What do you mean is a what are they trying to do? Create AIDS in a home and then spread the AIDS through the neighborhood somehow and have people catch the AIDS? It makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder. I don't know how it makes me feel. Because on the one hand, you're like, it's beautiful to have many neighbors. Everybody's doing the different thing. And at the same time, it gets you in instances like this. It gets you thinking. You're like, what's in everybody's house? Who's cooking up AIDS in their basement? Man. But also, we should, again, let's not, this should not be the gateway to problem solution. Mandatory cameras in everybody's households. Because we gotta always know who's cooking what in their kitchen or their bathtub. What if it was really good AIDS? You know what I mean? That's the thing. What if it was like positive AIDS? What if it was like AIDS that, made you better? How come there's never any form of an ailment or a disease that, what if there was a positive AIDS, AIDS, half brother, AIDS positive, AIDS that'll make you fucking grow stronger, thicker, faster, give you that fast twitch. You never had it before, but what you got? You look like you've been doing some work on you. So I got positive AIDS. Thank you. Skin's glowing. What is that? Is it because you gave birth to your 3 children? No, it's positive AIDS, but thank you for asking. The children actually deprive me of my glow. It's my positive AIDS that gives me that shine. Your hair's looking thicker. What are you doing? Is this some sort of a regimen that you're doing? No, it's super AIDS. I've got super AIDS. Let's make that one in a lab, Hepatitis Z, you know what I'm talking about? I'll give you a longer CAC. Can we make that one in a lab? Make it positive. Give them a chance is what I'm trying to say. We never know how, we're not gonna find out how the story is gonna end. Because yes, biolab, yes, of course. Not sanctioned by the government, of course. Not overlooked, yes. Not registered, no. Not qualified probably to do bio stuff, but also, how are we gonna get positive AIDS? You know what I'm talking about? Let some people loose, let them do their things. It wasn't positive AIDS, was it? Fine, shut it down. Yeah, everybody's making evil viruses. The Nipah virus. I heard of this shit. I don't know if it's really, again, another bad-born virus that they're trying to just sprinkle in the background, just put in the back of your mind. Just like, oh, Nipah virus? First of all, careful how you say that shit. It's my Nipah right there. It's my Nipah virus. What you got? The Nipah virus. Not to be mistaken with the Nipah virus. Yeah, leave the bats alone. Make positive AIDS. Make something that gives people, immunity to all diseases for life, cancer-free for life. Make that bacterium. Make that little culture happen in a little test tube. Microwave that shit, laser it, triple spin that shit real fast. Make it grow stronger and then give it to humans. So make us, invincible essentially. Don't come out with this fucking, you're gonna get sclerosis from this shit. Nobody needs it, nobody wants it. Short-sighted gains, that's the whole problem. We're like, if I create something that needs a vaccine to be fixed, I'll make a ton of money. If you make something super great, you'll make the most money. If you make something that makes humans invincible, that medication will, of course, yes. Eventually, that too will get saturated once everybody becomes invincible and everybody's done buying it. Then you'll come up with new shit. Just, I'm just putting it out there. Make some positive meds. Concentrate on the girth and the length of the peen. Get that one going. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be fucking swimming in dough. yeah, man, we gotta, I don't know, gotta be careful with the, what have we been talking about? Talking about the fucking censorship a second ago, which is again, and then we jumped right into whatever we just talked about right now. That's right, the biolab, all over the place today. It doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. The point is that they're, oh man, and the French too, because yeah, it's many things that I want to discuss today, so let's not skip over anything. The French too, French Paris, I think they came down, the law enforcement came down, cybersecurity systems came down and, kicked the door open to the offices of Elon Musk's ex in Paris. And again, getting in there and just fucking trying to have their way with freedom of speech. Well, French, the French, let's get your spirits back to it. We gotta revive Europe, man. I don't know what we gotta do, but we gotta revive it. You gotta get, I don't know what you're doing to your baguettes, but it's not been baguetting as of lately. I don't know what your wine is doing to you, but the wine of the past was good. Bring some of that back. I don't know what you're putting into the new shit right now, because it is, again, to protect the children. How about you just focus on the criminals? How about that? Just food for thought. Skirt time, skirt time, skirt. Bus-sized jellyfish found in the ocean, the size of a bus. This jellyfish was in the ocean, and they found it swimming majestically underneath our noses, underneath our tits, ladies, underneath our vulvas, below our anuses, fellas. Size of a bus, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, again, if this thing was floating in midair, you'd be like alien, UAP, UFO, shut it down, put some yellow tape around it, bring in the hazmat suits, poke it from afar, squeeze its translucent tits, see if it lactates. But it's just floating in the ocean. It's beautiful. The size of this thing, I don't know if you guys and gals have seen it or not, but check it out. It's under the ocean near Argentina. The Argentinians have always been a mysterious group of people, a nation full of mysteries. And yeah, this bus-sized jellyfish, just majestic, beautiful, beautiful. You take it for granted because it's on Earth. Again, if this was just floating in the sky, this thing, alien, straight up alien. Like that's what I would imagine that's what an alien looks like. Some mix of that or an octopus, but this thing the size of a bus, translucent, just fucking, giant mushroom cap with a skirt on. What is that all about? Extremely androgynous, you could say that. Who knows? Do jellyfish have cock, by the way? I've never even, or puss, how does that work? How does a jellyfish, that must be one of the loosest pussies ever, dog. But, is the jellyfish cock translucent? Can we take that DNA, mix it in the lab with the positive AIDS, and then make us invincible, have huger, bigger cocks, and also translucent, dude? You can see the clockwork, like one of those fancy watches. You can see the inside of the clockwork, like a master craftsman made it. Nah, you guys don't want master crafted cocks. Needs better funding, that's the problem. I'd want to ride it. I don't know how I deal with this translucent bus-sized jelly, but I do want to ride it. Dibs. I recommend more people get in the depths of the ocean and discover more species. Please, for the love of God, for the love of humanity, get in there. All right, you can do it. Don't listen to people that tell you shouldn't make your own submersible. We've had accidents in the past, sure, but this is now the time to find new creatures. Get down in there. You don't even need oxygen. There's a guy that just ingests oxygen and then he goes fucking diving without an oxygen tank and he can stand in the water, underneath the water for like half an hour. Takeaway, insert a lot of oxygen into your asshole and then go deep down inside the water for 2-3 hours. See what you find. All right, no goggles, just you. Water, sharks, see-through jellyfish, squeezing animals that ooze out some sort of liquid out their body. What? It's all in the dark. Speaking of creatures in the water who are magnificent, this one happens to be of the human species. Austin Appleby, 13, Australian, I think. Hello. Australian 13-year-old boy stranded in the middle of the ocean with his family, his mum, his sister, and his younger brother. I think he's the oldest of the, I don't know, I think he's like the oldest brother. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. 3 children, 1 mom. They were kayaking, I don't know. Were they boating? I don't know. They ended up in the middle of the ocean enjoying a day of family time in the water. And the water is a seductive she-devil that will call out your name and say, get over here, look at these tits, with your family and enjoy a great day at the beach. And most days it is just that, a seductive she-devil. She'll seduce you. She'll make noises that just entice you from the inside. What is that? You don't know, but you're reacting. Drawn to the beach, lather up, put some lotion on, wear your bikinis, 2-piece, 1-piece. It's a nude beach. Get in there, dipping and sipping afterwards to quench your thirst. You get out safely on most days, but yesterday or the day before or whenever this story took place wasn't one of those days. The Appleby family got in the middle of the water without a husband or father figure in sight. The boat collapses, sharks attack, see-through giant bus-sized jellyfish surround the family, taunting them like, get in here, we want to eat you alive. This young 13-year-old decided to punch all the fish in the sea. For 4 hours he swam using nothing but his limbs and his instincts. How did he even know which direction to go in? Who knows? Doesn't matter. He swam for 4 hours, 2.5 miles. That's a lot of kilometers. Put on the mileage speedometer. Who's tracking this shit? Doesn't matter. The point is that he swam all the way to shore and then had to run, I think, for another mile or 2. He did it all. He's a biathlete. He's a triathlete. He found somebody. He got help. They sent the help back to the parent and the 2 other children. Saved them. All of them now rest in safety. Why? Because of this young man, because of this fella who said, no, not today, mom, not today, little sis, not today, little fella, to his brother. And he went out there and he swam and he beat the odds. You know what that is? That's the spirit of Jesus inside you. That's a goddamn miracle. Get a tiny book, get a tiny radio, blend them all together, and you too shall find the spirit of Jesus in you, because Jesus is Jesus and you're you. Get in there. That's remarkable. This could be one of the most magnificent swimmers that we've seen. He's probably the best swimmer out there, right? There's no point of, Olympic swimming should just be done this year. He won. This is practical, everyday life swimming, all right? This isn't, let's just straight up, can you swim in a straight line? I don't want to see that shit. 13-year-old swam, 4 hours, 2.5 miles. See, rescue, that should be in the Olympics. Rescue your family, then you'll get the gold. Cancel the swimming events this year. He gets a best swimmer, possible phenom, a genius of a swimmer, or extremely problematic. He gets used to going into the water. Next thing you know, the whole thing becomes about him. Look at me, splish, splash, sploosh, ladies. He's now 25, the best swimmer to be out there. One day the masses of tits bombard him on the beach and there's just far too many chicks who are getting wet in the water and things are getting moist, ladies and gentlemen. Tsunami comes in, sweeps up everybody dies. Tragedy ensues. Or not, who knows? He might grow up to be an extremely level-headed human being who'll do more good, I'm sure of it. Talk about Baywatch, am I right? Hire this kid, put him in Baywatch. The next series. What are we even talking about, ladies and gentlemen? It is time that we talk about things that are important, topics that you're deeply invested in. I'm talking about dark showers. All right, bitches, this is a new trend. Apparently, I've heard of it a few times. I don't know why. Dark showers. I didn't want to read into it because I'm like, yo. I don't know who you think I is, but I ain't one of those types that wants to. I don't discriminate. I don't fucks that way. Dark showers, light showers. Don't put a color on my I shower colorblind. All right. I thought it was like low key, fine.
find a little bit of that tint. Find that, darker shade, dark showers. I didn't want to read into it. You don't want to be typing shit on your fucking, search history. Next thing you know, he's looking at dark here. Oh, dark shower. What is dark showering? Well, I'm like, this could be trickle down effect. You're spiraling. You're in the source system of the whole dark web now, son. Yeah, because I thought it's like, yo, grab a fellow or a lady with melanin, heavy on the melanin, dark showers, put them in the corner of your shower and just shower and have them watch you. I was hesitant to be at first. I'm like, first of all, how is everybody going to be able to find themselves, even logistically? This is an impossible ask, to find a beautiful black, all right? For everybody to, and then get them somehow to come join you in the shower, watch you shower, to have yourself a dark shower experience. They said it's going to be super. I started to read into it. They didn't hint anything at the beautiful blacks in the shower being present. I don't know if they took that out, redacted afterwards or whatnot, but it turns out they just mean dim the light, allegedly. Who knows? Dim the light, they say. Have a dark shower, extremely relaxing. They said that. You know what's more relaxing? Dim the light. Additional beautiful black in the shower, watching you fucking shower. Extremely relaxing. Putting ideas out there. Put it on the back burner. Don't think about it too much. Skirt. All right, dark showers. Turn off the lights, get in the shower before you go to bed. Apparently it just, releases endorphins and gets you all in the mood for sleepy time. So they say, yeah, just go have a dark shower. Turn off the lights. Maybe light up a little candle. Relax. You've had a long day at work. You've been going out in the sun. You've been sitting at your cubicle, running around doing meetings. Time to relax. Turn off the lights. Have a relaxing, dark shower. That's what they want you to think. Oh man. They want you to think you're going to go in there and have a relaxing time. But next thing you know, you start doing this shit. I'm going to have me a dark shower. One day you get in there, turn the lights off, bring out the bath bomb, bring out the loofah, bring out the douche. You're douching, ladies. You're douching. You're in there douching like a fucking silverback, female silverback, just, fucking shoulder deep, douching out your mouth, douching. You're into, and then that day, everything goes smoothly. You come out, dry yourself up, culturally appropriate some Middle Eastern turban thing on your head. We're not gonna judge in that instance because you got titties. Otherwise, send them out. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, you put that turban on and everything is fine. You continue this path for about a week or two. You get accustomed to it, all right? Negligence kicks in. Next thing you know, you go to take a shower. It's all dark. You slip and fall halfway through your douche sesh. Break all the bones in your body. You're bleeding from the fucking mouth. Eye is bleeding. Nose also bleeding. Ruptured from the inside. Everything inside you is bleeding. Guess what? Now you're twitching, foaming from the side of your mouth. For 5 hours and then you die. All right. So I asked the audience, dark showers, a relaxing experience or deathly? Try it out, it should be fun. Just thinking about how to get rid of a lot of waste out there because I'm extremely eco-friendly and fucking green. All right. When I experience my period, I'm always like the type that grabs grab a pad, grab a tampon, fucking shove it in there, have it soak up my precious blood clot. After it's sufficiently filled up, I take it out, squeeze it a little bit, play with it, throw it at the wall, eventually take it down, put it in the trash, and gone. It's gone out of my life. All the fun is done and over with. I'm like, how do I change my period experience? How do I
Make it A, more green, B, more environmentally friendly, C, more green and environmentally friendly. So I said to myself, what's pretty much basically a pad or a tampon? And I said to myself, but in the food category, and I thought about this long and hard while I was long and hard. And I came up with the tofu. We take the tofu, all right? Insert it up the vag when we're on our periods, right? We start our cycle. Now we're bleeding. Now we're soaking that shit. You leave it in there, right? Whenever you feel like it's sufficiently filled up with blood, you take it out. Now you got yourself a whole array of options of what you can do with this tofu period, my friends. Want to make some art with it by dabbing it on a piece of paper? You can do that. Want to throw it at the wall to see how long it takes before it slips down? You can do that. Want to treat yourself to a healthy little snack, tofu infused with period blood clot? Yum, num, 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 num. Right there, right there. Put that iron back in your body, reverse it, recycle, reuse it. Where is the waste? Zero waste, ladies and gentlemen. Zero waste. All right, so tofu periods introduced to the world, free of charge. You're welcome. Enjoy your life. Can I share this with family and friends? It'd be rude not to be honest with you. It'd be fucking rude, all right? If you got 5-7 tofus, whammed up all the way in there, all right? And you're just taking it out one by one, eating it in front of your friends who aren't on their period. Sharing is caring, all right? Sharing is caring. Please. Nike is getting probed anally by the Fed because of discrimination and alleged DEI. They're not hiring enough whites, and I've had enough of this shit, all right? I've had enough of this shit. Gotta fight it. We gotta fight these, because they don't, you give an inch in any of these areas, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Freedom of speech, expression, just fucking things that just make sense. You give an inch, they will take a mile. But in this case, I had to pay attention to see what's up. For a brief moment, I looked into the matter. Instantly, the answers came in. What was it? Hiring only ethnic people and not enough whites. And I said, well, we can't have this. Not on my watch. Not on our watch. Not today. Here's my take on it. This is what we do. This is what we do to make it, we gotta fucking take care of everybody. I want my niggas represented. I want my white niggas represented. I want my brown niggas represented. I want my yellow and red and purple niggas and green niggas represented. I want everybody in there representing together. It's what we do, all right? We got to come together, find our strengths and make that shine. Nike, what do they do? What do I care that what they do? I care about their I enjoy a good Nike sneakers. I enjoy a pair of sneakers that's made by Nike. That's what I enjoy about Nike. Maybe I enjoy a nice Nike tracksuit, Maybe a fucking, a sleeveless tank top made by Nike. I enjoy that shit. Who do I want to represent that product to me and sell it to me? Who do I want to see wearing those running shoes, In this instance, I'm going to say, I want mostly black. I want mostly black athletes. Because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't think any of us know what it is. Just again, find your talents. Let the talent ooze. Respect people for their talent. All right? In other aspects, who cares? All right? So great athletes. Predominantly, a lot of black people are really good at athletic shit. All right? We all know this. Great singers, songwriters, actors, entertainers, and great athletes. And a lot more other stuff too, but they fucking kill it. They kill it. All right? So I want a black athlete to mostly be who's selling my shoes to me, because I want to see you jump. I want that fast twitch, and I want to see yes, I got that in me. Fast twitch right now. Flex, back, thrown out. Who's out the game for 3 months? This guy. Why? Doesn't matter. The point is, because that's the thing. Here's what we do. We hire different people for different jobs within the organization. So the large organizations, the multinational conglomerate, all right? Whites, you get on the board. You create the meetings, you do the paperwork. That's where I want my whites, in the boardrooms, to budget shit, to think about the methods that we're gonna use to, fucking sell the product, right? Who's the image selling the product? Beautiful blacks, beautiful athletics, ripped blacks. all right? Because that's the thing. Again, each case should be, looked at based on its own merit and what we're talking about here. We're talking about products that are sportwear, all right? Sportwear and, athletic gear. That's what it is. Because if it's like, a black fella wearing something makes me want to be like, yes, I too can be like Jordan. I won't be, not in basketball, but that's the image that I see that talks to me in a way that says, maybe yes, maybe the sneakers can make you jump 6 feet in the air. Maybe yes. If it's beautiful whites, because the logo right now, that's the thing, you see the beautiful black doing that, you're like, yes, just do it. The logo, the ethos makes sense. Again, find our weaknesses, find our strengths, fill in the gap together. Whites, beautiful whites, or any other, shade of people. If it was any other shade of people selling mostly the products, I would, the ethos, the logo, it wouldn't, the trademark wouldn't just do it. Would be, if it was just whites and, browns or yellows selling the products, it would be, maybe just try it. Maybe just try, and that doesn't make me want to buy a pair of Nikes, because then it's going to be like, maybe just try it. You're not going to be, the greatest, but maybe just try it. Maybe that, so for that reason, I say, hire the whites, but also I don't mind a little bit of, finding what person has got what strengths and put him in the position where, where it best suits the entirety of the game, entirety of the whole fucking game. All right, because at the end of the day, we're one team. God damn it, we're one team. And my nips are hard right now. This is going to come in handy later towards the end, but apparently we now got this tech. I've heard of this some time ago. I don't know how it works because I'm not a scientist, not a certified circumcised scientist. I do it on the ground. That's what I do. But I'm not a researcher. I do it on the ground. I do fucking, we don't do it legit, but we do it like, legit off the books. That's how we does it. That's how we run this ship. You're in this ship. We're in this ship now. Oh, the ship is fucking sailing now. Speaking of high seas. Never hear about high A's or B's. It's just high seas. Skirt. We're talking about high tech. High-tech Wi-Fi. Apparently it could be used to conduct mass surveillance. I was reading about this shit. What? Mass surveillance using Wi-Fi. And again, keep this in mind. I think it might come in handy towards the end. Apparently, you don't even need a cell phone device or any sort of technological gadget on you. Apparently, by just routers being around like households, apartments, coffee shops, flower shops, bakeries, this, that, and the other. Apparently, Wi-Fi routers and the router signals can be used like radio signals, and they can pretty much detect you wherever you are without, again, you even having your cell phone or any sort of gadget on you, which I don't know how it works, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how it works, but the frequencies apparently emit some sort of an image, which is an image of you and everybody else out there, and they can track people with just using Wi-Fi signals, apparently, allegedly, is what I read. It's mind-boggling. That's mind-blowing. That's cray-cray. God. Forget about, people, that's the goddamn, spy movies in the future are going to be super lame, dude. That sucks. No more people sitting in vans. No more people, sipping on, no-name brand coffee and chain smoking and getting binoculars out or keeping tabs on people, from the weirdly labeled white vans. None of that shit. No more camaraderie. No more little jabs that start off a little bit hostile, but towards the end of the movie, they're like best buds. None of that shit. It's just going to be done via Wi-Fi with some guy or gal that comes and checks on the computers every once in a while. That's what you're going to see. That sucks. For surveillance, it's good, I guess. Easier way to keep tabs on people is nice. But you could see people through walls, different, you could see it through everything apparently using Wi-Fi signals. I didn't even know this. I don't even understand how they do it, but they do it somehow. The researchers said they did that. Who's overlooking this shit? Shut it down. So keep that in mind for a little bit later down the line. In the meantime, somebody came in and asked the beautiful question once again, and they're like, I'm suffering, Rob. They wrote that, and you will forever remain anonymous, friend. This story pulls on my kidney strings, the lesser known of the strings amongst the internal organs that require strings, but nonetheless, the kidney strings uphold. This fella said, or lady, this bitch said, I don't know what to do with my chopsticks. I keep forgetting them. I keep losing them. They fall into the wrong hands. They break. Every time I'm out there wanting to get some food and use my chopsticks, nowhere to be found. I have to resort to one of these lame-ass chopsticks that they just give out to everybody, the wooden chopsticks that you gotta separate. You get splinters. The splinter goes inside your mouth, inside your organs. 10 years later, stroke, heart failure, turns into a brain tumor. You're dead. All right, so that sucks. How do I keep my chopsticks on me at all times and not have to worry about, did I forget them? Did I lose them? Did I bring them this time? Emergency need of chopsticks. Where am I gonna find some chopsticks? Friends, family, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to get together and console one another and say, if there's a way, there's a way. And this way is the way to do it. Take your chopsticks, friend. It's what I've done for the past 7 years. It works just fine for me. I'm sure it's gonna work fine for you. Grab the set chopsticks, 2 of them, right? Take your dick. If you're a male, take your dick, right? Stretch out your peen. Insert the chopstick right in your dick hole, right in there. You'll find there's plenty of room to shove both chopsticks down your dick hole all the way inside and go about your day. Now, you might not need it right now. You might not even need it tomorrow. But guess what? It's Sunday. You're gonna get some pho. Oh, would you like some in-house chopsticks? No, thank you. Simply squeeze your bladder and you'll notice a little blood coming out of your cock. After the blood comes out, the chopsticks roll right out there, smooth as butter, some say. Take it out. Do a couple of these and get to eating, friend. Chopstick issue solved. No longer looking like a fool amongst family and friends, and no longer having to resort in-house chopsticks like some fucking peasant. So please, insert in your dick hole whenever you need it. It's right there. And to the ladies, use your pee hole. Of course, it would have helped if you had a cock hole to actually see where you're inserting. Feel it out. Once it's in there, shove it in there. And again, no more problems of having to say, guess I can't be eating these noodles right now with you because I didn't bring my chopsticks. Sorry, friend, I lent my chopsticks and they never got returned. Excuse me, sorry, I forgot. My mistake. Experience ruined friendships, torn apart family members, no longer family members. Why? Because you don't know where to put your chopsticks, friend. You're welcome. Solved. Skirt, skirt. If you recall, moments ago, we talked about mass surveillance and how it might come in handy, remembering that note, which brings us to this little story right here. Detective Rob Sadri is now on the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to just say that everything is under control. Savannah Guthrie of TV. What do we know about her? She's a personality on TV. I believe she's a host, I believe, of some show. I believe somewhere in the US. Tucson, Arizona? Not sure. I think that's where her mother lives, doesn't matter. Nancy Guthrie, now missing. Mother of Savannah Guthrie, TV host, TV anchor, which I don't know if she's a host or an anchor. Gotta get down to the nitty gritty of this shit. We gotta take our time with this. Savannah is the TV host. Nancy is the mother. Savannah is the TV host or anchor. Host versus anchor. Does she host? Or does she have some freakish ability to turn herself into an anchor, holding things down in place? How does this metamorphosis take place? It is yet to be discovered, but apparently she's got these powers to either be host or anchor. Mother goes missing. Today is, I believe, the 6th day. 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie, missing, kidnapped between the hours of 1 to 5 from her home, if I'm not mistaken. Blood spilt on the dance floor. Doorbell cam, not a working. Cell phones, I didn't look too deep into the story. Somewhere, pacemaker inside her body, I think. She's been missing. Ransom notes been handed out to local news network. Plural or just couple? I think a local news network and also TMZ. Didn't give it out to the Savannah Guthrie family. They gave it to the news outlets. But apparently, allegedly, the ransom note says, we want some Bitcoins in return for your mom or something along those lines. Now, she's 84. I've been seeing this for the past few hours. She's bombarded with, news of Nancy Guthrie. How do you guys and gals feel about this? Some people might say that no one gives a fuck about an 84-year-old gone missing. No one cares. Let's be honest. Some people might say that. Let's be honest. Past 80, it's 70 is, that's when you start, 80 is, some people say that 84 is now missing. Let's see. She was in need of medication. If she doesn't take it or she's not, constantly being taken care of or looked after, she's, vulnerable to dying, I think, without her meds. And they took her 6 days ago. By the time this gets out, by the way, I don't know, she might be returned. By the time this podcast on Friday comes out, she might be returned, or she might be super dead. Super dead. Some people might say that. Some people might say that no one cares, given the fact that thousands of people go missing each and every day. Why are we hearing about this one person? Some people might say that. One person kept hearing it. Nancy Guthrie, gone missing, 84 years old. Again, what did we talk about earlier? Finite talents, ladies and gentlemen, finite talent. There's only a limited amount of time that we should care. All right? Some people might say that. We're talking about a woman being way past due her expiry date. Let's just, no longer fertile, no longer capable of giving birth, no longer capable of lactating or having her period. She is now a burden on society, as are most 80-year-olds. But she's gone missing, and apparently it's the most important thing out there. It is entertaining, I'll give her that. I will give her that. The whole ransom note thing, entertaining. We've not seen a ransom note in some time. I would ask this, to solve this problem, to catch this, alleged kidnapper. First of all, again, it's gotta go younger. You gotta go younger. No one cares about it. You're not gonna get it. We're not gonna negotiate at 84. There's too much to pick apart here. Just 84. What does she have? Like 1, 2, 10 more years at best, and more meds and more taken care of. And you made her bleed on the way out. Even if we get her back, she's not going to be good as she never knew. She's been aged, used, you could say that, all right? So she's going to return more bumped and bruised and probably slower than before and no good to the family. God, probably going to take more taking care of. Keep her at this point. There's no way we're going to get that Bitcoin, all right? However much you ask for, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. So next time, learn your lesson. Go for hot chicks. Anybody, again, 21 to 35. After that, it's, no one cares. After that, no one cares. 84-year-old gone. All right. So the ransom note asked for, this is my problem with the whole thing. The ransom note asked for money, but they asked for Bitcoin. Cameras, apparently no video of this individual. Can we, again, bringing it back to the previous point, can we use the Wi-Fi to somehow find him? Because apparently it's just everywhere, picking up signals and radio signals and just creating images of people. Can we find him that way? No? Is the tech out yet, or are we about to get it at one point or another? I don't know what we're creating. I don't know what we're creating. The underground labs, the dark science, the military tech that we don't even know of. skirt, side note, parentheses, a video emerged of China apparently talking shit, putting up images of space carriers that are going to be ready in 30 years, 800 feet long, capable of carrying 88 unmanned flying devices. It could be jets, it could be, drones, who knows? Giant spaceship. It's like a Star Wars themed spaceship, basically, but ready in 30 years. And to that, some people say, is that propaganda or is that shit they're working on? And then it begs the question, what do we got? And the shit that we see is just the tip of the iceberg. And of course, for like safety and like national security reasons, they can't just come out and say it's what we got, but it just makes a man think, what do we got? Wi-Fi detection techniques, little Doritos flying up near Area 51, and it's like, what is it? Most likely our tech this time, but also what is going on? With all the tech that's being presented, and you wonder what we have available, you wonder what's actually, what our government's working on and what gets, exposed to the public. Nonetheless, brings us to this point. Can we use the Wi-Fi to find the alleged kidnapper? Once again, kidnapping, all right? Emphasis should be, again, the root word, kid, or at least young napping. This is an old napper, all right? This is old napping. No one cares. Old napping, let him nap, all right? Night, way past due the old expiry date. She's fermented at this point, pickled for life. She old, wrinkly. You break it, you buy it. She's low-key, always broken because she's old. Some people might say that have the heart. Others will say, bring her home safely. And we will do that. That's why I come in here and say these words right now, all right? To the perps out there, your days are numbered. We got Wi-Fi signals. We got hi-fi signals. We got lo-fi signals. We'll eventually get you, all right? Bitcoin, asking for Bitcoin. You're weak. You've never done this before. This tells me that you want to do it through tech. This tells me that low-key, isn't everything encrypted on a blockchain? Can't everything encrypted essentially be deciphered? So find the IP address of whoever sent that Bitcoin wallet address. Find your guy. Which brings us to the next point. Bitcoin sucks when you're doing ransoms. Takeaway, if you're gonna do kidnappings, asking for ransoms, here's what I do recommend. You watch a few movies, go back. It's where entertainment comes in, and again, giving people their area of expertise to ooze and shine. And if you watched beautiful actors and beautiful heist movies and ransom notes and hijackings and heists and kidnappings and lots of guns ablazing, you might have picked up on the sense that you're gonna have to ask for a whole lot of cash. Cold, hard cash. Unmarked 20s brought and dropped off in unmarked suitcases, briefcases, backpacks, things that you can easily pick up and make a run for it somewhere, somehow, all right? Bitcoin is used by the intelligence communities and criminals, and we sometimes use the intelligence communities to get the criminals using our cyber tech that we have, to which I'm not even privy to. But again, if it's on a link chain, if it's a chain link, goes back to an IP address, and despite all of your VPNs, and despite the fact that they say, WhatsApp and all the other Meta is not reading your text and your phones, they bullshit you. I don't know what. Let's get real. Let's get real for a second. Nothing is encrypted, or if it is, it's extremely vulnerable to being deciphered by all the tech that we got. And every day it gets easier with the AI getting better and better. Encryption is gonna be redundant. It's a moot point. It doesn't even matter. All right, everybody's gonna be seeing everything. It's just a matter of time. The point is, blockchains can be traced. I think. I'm not an expert, but I think they can be traced. Other points that I want to discuss about this whole entire case. To catch the individual, to catch the perp, because they're asking for millions. So I had to dig a little bit, on this. I'm like, is Nancy rich personally? Does she have personal wealth? Apparently she's not rich. I don't think but Savannah, daughter, I think she might be. I think she's like a multimillionaire from the anchoring and the hosting. So find out. I don't know if any of the other siblings are rich, but they got some loot between them. Find out who hates you. Find out who's somebody out there. If this is, whether somebody who hates you, because that really, you gotta if you're gonna be kidnapping somebody and asking for money, for ransom, willing to hurt the individual that you've kidnapped, not a lot of love. So find out who doesn't really like you and who probably hates you. There must be somebody that hates you to that extent. It's not going to be random, I don't think. From my expertise, not random. It's going to be somebody you know, probably somebody you know. Probably somebody who's also familiar with your mother's house, because they went in there, removed her, got rid of the cameras. They must have been somewhat familiar with the house to an extent. It couldn't have just been like one random house just staked out one afternoon. They might have had a little bit of access, so keep that in mind. Local houses, I'm sure somebody's got some cams. Check the cam. With everything being under surveillance these days, who does kidnappings anymore? It's almost, again, it's gonna be, not too happy about the Bitcoin asking. Keep it to cash or gold. Gold can be also, one of those, because you're worried about cash, or like, what if they mark the bills? Or gold, ask for gold or diamonds. You don't know how to check for blood diamonds or marked diamonds. You could just ask for gold. And, get a metal detector so that you can actually check it on the spot to see if it's actual gold. Cash is probably the best. Again, cash is probably the best. I'm looking back at all the movies in my head right now, and it is cash is probably your friend if you're going to be kidnapping out there or asking for money for anything, really. So to catch this guy, do we even need to at this point? Because it's 6 days, 6 days. I think she's dead. Sucks. Of course it's so. I think she's dead though, low key. It's a lot of news, a lot of coverage. This isn't no Gabby Petito. This is 84-year-old again we're talking about. 84-year-old Gabby Petito. Young, promising, full of talent. 84-year-old. It's, We'll get them. Use the Wi-Fi. I say use the Wi-Fi. Find a way. Trace the steps. Shut down the parameter. Test the sewer water. Look for fingerprints, shoe prints, any jism on the scene. There's a deadline. The first deadline to give them the money has passed. Again, by the time this video comes out, the whole thing might be solved or not. I think the next deadline is on Monday. But we don't negotiate with terrorists or criminals for that matter. Oh man. Can they get away? No, right? They can't get away, right? Because everything is... What if she dies and they just dip and go? I don't feel like you can get away with crime these days. I just don't feel like, unless you're super, again, white collar crime, that's the way to do it. Low level crime like this, I just feel like it's not worth it. You get caught. I'm sure you're gonna get caught, right? Because we're on it together, right? We're gonna catch this son bitch and bring Nancy home. You're alive, Nancy. You're strong. Stay in there, sister. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't solve anything. This matter is still being unraveled, but at least we figured a few things out, and that is a big, big win. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out. Get out of here. #FreeNancy.